was a rerun.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the Everything and Nothing Show. I'm just one of your hosts with the mostest, the sleep-deprived parent, Clayton Kisco, and I'm accompanied, of course, by the rest of the Maelstrom gamers.
That's right.
And on this podcast today, episode 34, not 44 and a half, mind you, it's
and
34, we have the heartthrob, Mr. A.K.A. Rock
Tootsie
Avelino.
Roll. That's right, baby. AKA Tootsie Roll right here.
A.K.A. Tootsie Roll. He's
I don't
with
know
us
where
on...
it came from. First wanted me to tell you, I'm the Tootsie Roll, baby.
There's something to that. There is a TV show. Yeah, it's like A.K.A. Tootsie Roll or something like that.
Hey, no, I'm telling you where I stole this from, okay? If you guys haven't heard about it yet, Little Dicky, he's out there. He hits it up with the AKA every time he hits a song up, and I'm AKA. Oh, I already said it, but it's in my mind. Frosty Hands.
It's AKA.
Frosty Hands.
Just like that, Frosty Hands.
All right, if you don't know Little Dicky, you should definitely YouTube him, especially his Save That Money song. It's absolutely hysterical because it actually documents him trying to... What he's capable of doing, what he does is basically, it's a song about saving money, and he goes around L.A. finding ways to make a rap video without spending a dime, and he does
That's what I do.
And he like everything from getting like Little T-Pain to using like people on his music videos to like get that rap music video thing. Like he just makes... I'm doing a horrible job explaining this. He goes to like this old woman, uses the mansion, like everything is used for free and it's hysterical.
And cars, he goes to the Lamborghini place. He's like, hey, can you just borrow the Lamborghini for a little bit?
Everybody's apprehensive at first, but eventually like he gets it because he's just persistent. It's really funny, so check it out. AKA Frosty Hands, AKA Mr. Beanie, AKA Heartthrob.
Yes.
AKA Smooth Jazz in your ear.
Smooth Jazz.
There you go. And that voice that you're hearing is a man who is actually going to be able to take off his mask in the next episode, in episode 35, because we've hit our $40 mark. Guys, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing.
There it is.
It's taken a while, but honestly, what doesn't, stuff like this does take a while. And we really appreciate everybody who's kind of been with us and who's followed us and who's helped us. And because of that, we've hit our mark. We have new microphones for Ian. He's also going to take off his mask. He's a bit ugly, so, it will be jarring.
It will be. Close your eyes first and be prepared.
And but
guys,
he's about to sound really good. So, so without any further ado, the man that you hear but never see until the next episode, Mr. Ian, the Enigma.
Boom. And actually, what's going on? That's how the door closes, man. I mean,
it's like AKA, that's how the door closes.
Right.
AKA, I love it.
AKA.
Rocco's AKA and
Lady Killer.
And Ian is that's how, because that's how the cookie crumbles. That's how the door closes.
That's how the door closes.
And that's how you turn off a computer. I'm Ian.
AKA on fire.
So what do we? I mean, you need a new nickname if you're not going to be the Enigma anymore.
Yeah.
Damn, that's true.
The artist formerly known as the Enigma. That could be something.
I think.
Just a symbol.
Can I just be a symbol?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to think about this one a little bit.
I'm gonna have a symbol. And then we're just gonna show it every time.
You guys are gonna be a little nervous. He's got tattoos all over his face, like
tears, like 5 of them.
Yeah, and like he's got tears. Did you just say tears?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he killed
prison.
Yeah,
that was
right.
From prison.
And then not like a real Band-Aid, but a tattooed Band-Aid.
Yeah, because he loved
the real Nelly.
He loved Nelly. Yeah, that's what it was. And if you don't know who Nelly is, we're too old. We just gave away our age.
Shit.
No, it hasn't come to that.
It's like he hasn't came back in forever, dude. He was like 90s.
Yeah, I mean that's early 2000s.
Early
man.
Shit. If someone is watching this, they don't know who Nelly is.
There's some that probably don't, dude.
Oh my God.
They're like,
Nelly, who the fuck is Nelly? How do you spell that?
I never thought it would, but that's so obscure. I would have thought something else would have been the thing that made me feel old, but like Nelly, like that
Nelly
album,
makes you feel old.
That album they had, that fucking Country Grammar was so good.
Oh,
It's
Country
getting
Grammar.
hot in her.
That's a different album. Yeah.
I don't fucking
You're
know.
washing my mellow
AKA
right now.
album not known.
yeah.
Now you feel real old.
And that's how the album goes gold, y'all. I'm out.
I'm out. Just piss me off, man.
All right. Well, look, for those of you guys hopping on who doesn't know who Nelly is or doesn't know AKA Tiny Curl, who doesn't know the format,
AKA half a heart.
Who doesn't know the format of the show, let me explain really quick. It's very simple. Every week, the Maelstrom Gamers, we hop on and we do a podcast. We each bring a random topic for our discussion, but more importantly, for your entertainment. And each topic, there's 5 of them, and they're each released topic by topic Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday, all of them rolled up with a full episode. You can get all these for free on youtube.com/Maelstrom Gamers channel. If you want to get them early, you can go on to patreon.com/Maelstrom Gamers, throw us a couple bucks, and we'll give it to you, to you early. The important part of that also is that even just $1 helps support us immensely and gets us closer to some of our goals that we want to do, including new equipment and maybe doing like a different show. Ian wants to do some cooking stuff. We stream League of Legends. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that we can do. We have it all up on there. You can read about it some more. If you don't have money, that's cool. You can support us for free as well. We have a Facebook. We have Instagram. We have the YouTube channel. So comment, like, subscribe, and share. Facebook, all that stuff helps. So please do that. I am sleep deprived, so this is coming out.
The curl is killing me.
I'm gonna actually get a tattoo of that shit right there.
Don't do that. Don't do that. AKA bad decisions.
AKA bad decisions.
AKA brilliant.
No. The other thing is we have iTunes podcast, but it's a little fickle. So if you've been looking for them recently and they're not there, I apologize. That's just something that's just been falling off the wayside. We're trying to fix that. But we'll have to look into that a little bit more.
That'll be part of the topics there. That'll be part of the topics for today.
My topic is how we fail.
How we fail.
Day in and day out.
How we fail.
No. But speaking of topics, we're going to switch it up a little bit. We want to make sure that you guys kind of know what we're going to be talking about for the episode. So episode 35, which is what we're on.
Ish.
Not 34.
Ish.
This is how
34.
This is 35.
No, I thought you just...
So
okay.
36, episode 36, Ian will have his face off. And
Face off.
This is episode
Face
35,
off.
yeah.
Brilliant Nicolas Cage movie.
That's what I was going to say. That was a part of my trivia, bro.
So today we're going to be talking about sports and kids. I know we talked about it before. We have a couple new thoughts on that, especially with Ian. We're gonna be talking about being a new parent. Why I'm so sleep deprived. We have a topic on willpower. So stay tuned for that. That's of course Rocco, aka Life Goal Manager.
Life goal.
And then we have crazy drunk stories coming up. We're going to talk about some of the wildest stuff we've ever done while intoxicated and young and stupid. And then we're also going to be talking about League of Legends Season 6. Every year, a new season for League of Legends comes out. Bunch of changes. And we're going to be kind of discussing our thoughts on the current changes. And, we've had some time to play it, and especially these two guys. And we're going to kind of just dive into that a little bit. So... let's start this episode off without further adu, and let's kick.
Let's start. Why don't we start it off with understanding what a doula is? Because somebody I know that's on this podcast right now is a little bit famous for having a little segment on the news. That's right. It's because of something that came around. But explain what a doula is, please.
Okay, so a doula is someone who you hire who is a professional. Think about it like a nurse, like your own personal nurse that you work with leading up to the birth, covering your birthing plan, where you're going to give birth, how you want to give birth, and all your needs during birth. And they are your advocate. They're there to help you with all the things that you've laid out, all the things that you want. And they're also there to help you. And this is very important because this often gets looked over, but they're also there to help support your significant other. So in this scenario, me. So my wife and I hired a couple doulas, and there was one doula with us.
Why did you need a doula though? What happened there?
Yeah, why would
what happened there?
Like a lot of people are like, it's all about, and this is and I'll get to my stupid analogy in a minute, but this is why people just always focus on. Sorry, I'm losing topics, losing my train of thought again. People tend to focus on the wife, and they don't really focus on the significant other because they think it's all about the wives. But in reality, it really is also about the significant other, because when that partner feels like they are not sleep deprived and that they are in their like their needs are also met, they can then focus all of that 100% energy on the wife. Right, on the person giving birth, and that person will benefit from it. So, little jumbled. Sorry for that. I'm having trouble articulating, but
there's kind of a reason for that, right?
Let me ask you this: did they have dreads?
No, they didn't have dreads. So doulas are often associated with midwifery, but you don't need a doula. Like a doula you can have a doctor in a hospital birth, a very traditional birth, with or a C-section, whatever, and you can have a doula there because they're there pre, during, and post. So they're there to help you create a birthing plan and make sure that when you're in the hospital or when you're at home, wherever you're giving birth, that your needs are met. So, if nurses come in and they're like, hey, look, we need to do this, that, and the other thing. We're looking at this, that, and the other thing, and these are your options. She is a liaison to say, well, look, they're talking about this, and this will lead to that. This goes against your birthing plan. Are you okay with that? Or she just said this. This means that. Or, what do you guys think? Or she said this. Do you have any questions about this, that, and the other thing? Like, she's really there to help make sure that you understand everything that's going on, right? So, like I said, she's there for the wife. She's also there for the significant other. So, like, I can go take a nap for 3 hours if she's laboring for 3 days or 2 days, so I can come back refreshed. I can go take a piss. I can go take a shower. I can go eat. It allows me to be fully recharged, so I can be there, fully present for my wife. And a lot of people think, well, whatever, I don't need that. I'm gonna tough it out. But it makes such a huge difference, because here's the thing, and this is where I was going with the analogy, is like, and I'm struggling to find a great example, but like, think about it like, I don't know. You can go to Disney World, right? And you can have a really fun time. But like, let's say in order to get to Disney World, you got to drive for 18 hours, and you only have time to go to Disney World, and then you got to drive back. You're going to have fun, but it's going to be kind of miserable. Now imagine if you could hire someone to drive you to Disney World, wake up, enjoy that process, and then hire someone to drive you home. It's really that big of a difference. You don't need it, but I'm telling you, when you're there and you're not sleep deprived, my experience was so wonderfully memorable that it was like, it didn't have one negative thought. And you might not think you'll have negative thoughts with the birthing process, but it's not as hard and it's not as grueling. And so like, you really just were all there focused in having to enjoy that process 100%.
So what I got from that, Clay, is that you slept most of the time.
No, I didn't.
You slept in the car.
I didn't, but like in our birthing.
I'm kidding.
No, I totally hear you. But our birthing plan was thrown completely out the window because my wife had preeclampsia. So she gave birth 6 weeks early, and it was very scary because she was on magnesium, which is to say she was on a certain type of chemical that made her very, very drowsy, full of headaches. She was bloated. Just birthing was very different, and it took 4 days. And so I was very and so I was sleep deprived. We had the doula come in, tons of stuff that were going on that we didn't expect, or information being thrown at us, and the doula was like, "Look, try the blah blah." But I was also learning from the doula. Like, she knew what was happening in a lot of cases. It was like, run and get ice, run in and ask for this, run in and grab that. And I was like, okay, cool. I need to go do this. I need to go do that. Like, I'll follow her lead. Different massages, techniques. Like, and there was someone on call constantly. So, 24/7, we had someone there with us, and I was able to sleep, and then wake up and help.
That's
help
awesome.
to the bathroom, help get a nurse, all this stuff.
That's the birthing process. Now that you're kind of like, what now? You're about he was born in February 2nd. Am I right? When was it?
January 14th.
No, sorry, January. Okay,
He's in
February 2nd. February 2nd is when he came home, or February 6th?
Yeah, it's around there.
When
Like February 4th, he came home.
Gotcha. So you've been a dad for about 2 months now. What is that early stage of childhood like, man? What does that feel like?
It feels pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I will say that I am very sleep deprived. I get about an hour of sleep at a time. He's a preemie. Okay. And he's dealing with just like gas and
colicky.
Are they colic?
I don't think I would say colicky, because colicky is but he's definitely his digestive system is just not mature enough. And this happens with a lot of preemies, is they just grunt all the time. And he could be dealing with some reflux. So when you lay him down, he'll like sleep for an hour, and then he wakes up, and it's just it's like, I'll crack up because it's pretty funny. He'll grunt, like he'll like hunker down, like he'll just go, and he'll be like, and he'll cry a little bit, and then more farts will come out, and that lasts for about an hour or so. And depending how much he ate, he'll either go back to bed, or he'll be up and hungry again. And you're like, dude.
Gotcha.
So, and then the only remedy really is to hold him.
Yeah.
We just bought a pack and play, so I've heard really great things for preemies about the pack and play, because it's like a vibration or rock and play or whatever.
Gotcha.
So hopefully that will help. But hours at a time, and then Sarah and I doing shifts. I am doing with a preemie. He's not even a newborn yet. He's still only 39 weeks. So a lot of people are like, oh yeah, the newborn process only lasts for a while. Don't worry about it. It's like, well, we've actually had the newborn process for a month and a half now. So think about and I know Rocco, you have been a parent, and
Yeah.
the last time Mihaela must be like what, 2 years, 3 years?
No, she's about almost a year and kind of getting towards a year and a half right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it might be
Because you
kind of
had
fresh
her
with
right
you.
before my wedding.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
Honestly, man,
I
I don't know if I have similar stories or not, but man, my those initial stages were really difficult for me,
Dude.
me and my wife too, man. Like we had a colicky baby. Our first guy, LJ, was colicky, and it was like he just it was tough. It was so tough because, like you said, we had maybe an hour in between each sleep kind of deal going on. We had to take shifts as well, where it was like, I've got this shift just so you can get some sleep, and I took my shift out in the living room while she slept in the bedroom.
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah, this way it was like no sound, nothing's going to interrupt your sleep. You're going to be able to actually get some solid sleep, because if we don't, like, we were going crazy. I mean, I'm not a big crier by any means, but I cried more in my life in that 3 months of having our baby from until he was 3 months old than anything, because we had sat down saying like am I even capable of this? Like, I don't, like, I love him so much, but like, this is so difficult because that sleep deprivation is no joke.
It's real, dude.
Like, everything becomes stressful. Everything becomes kind of like crazy and intertwined. You don't know what's going on, and you want to take care of your kid the best that you can. You don't know if you're doing something right, wrong, and adjusting to all that change is the biggest part. I felt like for me as a newborn, like as a new father, that change was dramatic. It was like going from being able to play video games at any time I want, get up and go out to Steak and Shake at fucking 12, and that's cool. Doesn't matter. I could, you wanted to go out to the club or the bar and we want to just grab a drink real quick and come back in. Cool, we can do that too. Yeah. Or a friend just hit us up. You want to go hang out at a friend's house? That all changed, which was a big thing, but what was the biggest thing was that even in our house, those regular routines changed too. Oh, yeah. It wasn't being able to just do what we wanted to do. Now it was just like, it was fully catering around to the baby, because the baby's so new, the baby's so dependent upon
of attention.
And when they got colic or some type of other issue, a preemie, like you said, you're going for, already been doing it for 2 months, a month and a half. Haven't even gotten to the newborn stage yet, like, holy crap. I was thinking about that just earlier today. I was taking a shower. I was like, man, you know what? Clay hasn't, like I said, the first 3 months of my life with the baby was a tough situation, but he's got that 3 months plus a month and a half. Like, that's no joke. Yeah. Like, he's gonna have.
Because like I'm reading everything about. They're like, oh yeah, the grunts last like 2 months, and it's like, that's 3.5 months adjusted for me. I'm like, fuck, dude, 3 months. How did you do this with work? Like, being sleep deprived. Like,
It was honestly. I'm in a fortunate situation, okay, because my work is like, I'm capable of making a good amount of money in a very short period of time, which allows me to have kind of breaks in work. So I don't have something where I own my own company where I can kind of make my own schedule, which is a big deal for when we had our baby, because I was able to take a good break to be able to help take care of the baby. In fact, actually, I was doing a lot of the taking care of the baby because my wife was in school, finishing up her nursing school at the time.
Oh, right.
So she had to go to school probably 4 or 5 days out of the week, and I was doing the father thing pretty much a lot. Let's just say. So it was good not having the job thing, but the other part was just that it was all brand new to me. Some things that I would say is this: I have a daughter and I have a son now, and it looks just to me with the relationships that I'm seeing right now that the females tends to have kind of a more of like a nurturing side, like naturally. Oh, yeah. Or that, my son didn't really have a nurturing side, didn't really care to get hugged, was indifferent to all this love and stuff, where my little girl's just like, yo, give me a big old hug, or give me a kiss, or like, and she knows how to do this whole thing. She grabs her baby doll and she holds it, and she's like I said, she's not even a year and a half yet. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, that's different.
I've heard that from a bunch of different people. We have friends, obviously. We have a bunch of friends who have kids who are just in that stage of life, and they say that. They're like, boys are just different. Boys just like grab stuff and start smashing.
Yeah,
girls are like a lot more.
It was just different, So it was like being that guy that's like, I'm not really the nurturing type either. So it was like I had to kind of do a lot of changing, you know what I mean, and like and adjusting, and it was not the easiest by any means, and that's why I have a lot of respect, for people that want to go out there and they want to become parents and stuff like that, and they're working the hardest to do the best that they can. I have a lot of respect for that because it takes a lot, and I also have a lot of respect for well, not a lot of respect. It's like I have, it's I'm losing my words here, but it's very, very, very important, let's just say, to make sure that you want to have a kid before you have a kid, which is why I have a lot of respect for those individuals that say, I'm not prepared to have a kid yet, and I'm not going to have it yet. Because it's like, good.
Responsible.
And not that that's the way that I felt. I felt ready to have a kid. And even feeling ready to have a kid,
You're not ready
to have a kid, I still wasn't ready to have kids. You know,
dude.
like, well, and I was trying my best and trying my hardest, and still, you know, it got us through. We're here today. We're still alive. But it was, like I said, I became a crier in the 3 months because I was like, I don't know what's going on in the world. Like my life is, I don't know if I can live any longer. This is tough.
So what's interesting is that a doula will come after the birth as well and check up on you. How are you doing? How's the mom doing? How are you breastfeeding? What else? What other needs do you need?
I was asking because we didn't have that kind of experience. You know what I mean? Like for us, it's like, you know, from your little episode that I saw that hopefully you'll post underneath this video and then everybody can see your famous.
Yeah, you got to.
We did actually do a lot of the stuff that you guys said you were going to do. We didn't have the, you know, a preemie, so we didn't have the unexpected kind of situation that occurred for you guys. We got to be able to do the candle, the nice lighting, the nice mood setting, all that kind of deal. We took our, you know, classes. We even did some like hypnosis. We didn't take any classes on it, but we did some I forget what it's called now, but like pregnancy hypnosis stuff where it's like they just listen to really calming music to get themselves to a really relaxing place. We did a lot of that. And you have a really good point because it is really stressful for the significant other too. You know, I was there for my wife 100% the best that I possibly could be, but it was difficult for me too because I was just as sleep deprived because I was going to make sure that I was up, she's up, you know.
Exactly.
And I got 2 hours of sleep, and she was, you know, we weren't in for 4 days of labor, but we were definitely in for 2 days of labor, and that was a rough thing because it was like, because once the baby's born, you're like, all I want to do is be around the baby, and then you're like, holy crap, I have had no sleep in the past 3 days.
So could you imagine, like, I mean, again, it's like, okay, you can either be completely sleep deprived and probably forget a couple of those moments with your kid, or you can hire someone to make sure that, like, someone's always there for your wife. You can sleep, and then you can, like, see your kid for the first time and just be so fresh. And just,
I remember we felt
it's kind of like
bad.
having 2 of you then.
Yeah,
like,
that's exactly it.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
Except the second version of you is a lot smarter and knows a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. A lot more like informed and knowledgeable on the situation that's going down. You know.
Well, and I was gonna say, one of my great friends, Matt, he has 3 children now, and when he had his first daughter, we were, man, I have to say around 22, maybe 21. Yeah. And I actually lived with him for a while he had his daughter.
Oh, cool.
And before I actually moved in with him, we lived together for a while. Then I lived with an ex, and then I moved back in with him. So long story short, his daughter was colic, and I went over there to hang out with him a few times, and I just couldn't even be there. Like after 25 minutes, and his daughter was screaming and just, and I was like, bro, I gotta go. And he's like, don't go.
Holding on to any little threat they can.
And I'd be like, okay. So I'd sit there and I'd hang out with him for like an hour or two. And I mean, that I just don't know how. And I can understand your point of view, Rocco, just being like, can I even do this? And I mean, I only got to do it for, an hour, and it's not even my kid.
Well, I will say this, is that we've had a couple people come over now, and some of them do have kids, like babies, newborn babies. And when it is not your kid crying, it is an absolutely completely different feeling than your kid crying. It's so weird, but like, just for example, both of them were crying here. And one of them, I was like, I can't even really, this is crazy. But when my kid cries, I'm like, I'm okay. It's like, it's my kid. It's, like, it's weird. It's a weird thing. I don't really know what to equate that to, but like, it's just different. It's just so different. You're not nearly as like stressed. Or, I mean, you are. Don't get me wrong.
But it's different.
It's so different.
Yeah, exactly.
And see, I don't even have kids yet, but I mean, I would say, Rocco, that I'm in that stage because I made a choice. I always said that I was not going to have a kid until I'm at least 30. I just turned 30. My wife and I have been talking about it, but we're going through a lot of different changes right now of work and possibly where we're going to be living. So
Yeah.
we kind of just put that on like a brief hold while we get that all figured out. But
See, and that I have respect for those individuals that can make those kind of decisions, though, because I see so many that just boom, there's a baby, and they're like, well, what the fuck, like.
yes. And so that's what we decided, and we're taking the measures of making that not happen yet. So I just haven't been laid in a long time. I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, but
Kids will do
so,
that.
Yeah, kids will do that.
I can imagine that, but no. So that's kind of like where I'm at. I'm actually ready to be a father, and Taylor tells me a lot. She's like, "Are you mad at me?" And I'm like, "I'm not mad at you at all. Like, I'm like, this is a smart decision that we decided both together."
Yeah.
She goes, "I know that because a lot of things are happening with me." I told her that I wanted to have a child before anything happened to my parents because I want my child to experience that.
Yeah.
So and she's like, "Well, I hope you're not mad at me because she's about to start a new job and we could be moving." So that's kind of how that's going, and I'm definitely ready. I see like, a bunch of my friends having kids. Clay, of course, Rock already has kids. So I don't know. I'm 30 and I'm ready, kind of thing.
Yeah, I gotcha. See, that's what I was saying is like I've met a lot of individuals though that didn't have that. They just kind of ended up having a baby. Nothing against people that have a baby. And the part that I have against is where individuals have babies and then they can't deliver to those children and be those parents that they need to be. That's the part that I have a problem with, and it tends to happen from what I see more with individuals that have babies unexpected because there's some type of underlying resentment built up towards the baby. Like, you ruined my life. Like, first off, like
your decision.
to be able to even have the baby, you did something yourself.
Yeah.
And not everybody, a lot of individuals still have used some type of protection or done something and still claim that, oh wow, we still had a baby, and that it is possible, but even taking some precautions, which is why it's like, well, then just don't do it, which is a tough one to say.
Dude, I was gonna tell you this before we move on. When you're sleep deprived, it's so easy to snap.
Oh yeah.
And so I don't know, Rocco, if you have any stories, but I recently had one of the funniest snapping moments at my wife the other day, and we both snapped at each other. But I guess she had eaten, and I made breakfast. She'd eaten first. I held him, and then she was holding him, and she was like, "Hey," and I'm eating, and then in the course of eating, she's like, "Hey, can you? Okay. Hey, can you? Okay. Hey, can you?" And then so by the fourth time I came in, she's like, "Yeah, can you do it?" And I was like, I was freaking out in my head because I just wanted to eat. But I knew that this freak out request moment was going to come off as like bad, so I wanted to make it as just funny or not threatening as possible. That's the word, not threatening as possible.
You just threw the ball.
No, so I came in and I was like, okay, and she's like, and I was like, I just want to eat right now. So I started doing this dance, and I was like, I just need to eat right now because as I turned and walking, and she's just like, go eat. I was like, I can just have 5 minutes to eat. Yeah.
If you don't let me do my robot dance, shit's going down.
She's like, get out of here, go. And I was like,
oh, that's great.
Yeah.
No, man. I honestly, because it's not so fresh in my mind right now, I would say that yes, I have had those situations occur. I can't bring it to the plate right now, just because, honestly, I had them. We all go through those situations where you're just so sleep deprived, and you don't mean to take it out on your significant other by any means, but it usually does translate sometimes just because of that stress that's being built up. And even if it's something simple as like, hey, can you do that? Hey, can you do that? I'm taking care of the kid. All I want to do is take a shit.
AKA shit taker.
AKA shit taker. Close the door.
Yeah. And it's only gonna. It's now. It's just a part of your life. It's now gonna change. I think I'm a father of a preemie who's going to constantly worry about stuff until they get to a newborn. And then I realized that's not going to change. When they get to be a newborn, I'm still going to worry. Yep. When they get older, I'm still going to worry. When they get to be 6, 7, 10 years old, I'm still going to worry. When they want to go into sports, I'm gonna be worried.
So talking about sleep deprived, I'm not getting up every hour, but I am getting up nowadays. I am still getting up in the night. There's like last night, for example. The little one will wake up and just be like, "Hey, mommy, I love you. Mommy, I love you."
Back to sleep.
Until somebody replies back, this little jit is just gonna be like, "Mommy, I love you, mommy, mommy." Come back to bed, mother.
So what do you do? Do you just go in there and be like, I love you too?
Remember that conversation I had with you before you went to bed? He's like, yeah. Like the one where I said, don't. If you wake up in the middle of the night, you need to get yourself back to sleep. Just relax. Go back to bed.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. You need to do that.
Shit.
Awesome.